What's going on, guys? God bless you. Carlos here with Serranos Mobile Detail here in Dallas, Texas. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. I hope you guys had a blessed weekend overall. Today's video is going to be one, how to clean a engine, maybe a step-by-step, and two, we're going to be doing a hand wax as well. And you will see exactly the process I go through for the hand wax, and I'm also going to tell you what was the cost of this whole package and how we're able to obtain better customers, better results, and work less. All right, so stay tuned. And Jesus Christ. So for this process, guys, I tend to always do a pre-rinse, as you guys see me here. Using this turbo nozzle wasn't doing nothing to it. You guys can see me trying, and it's not removing it. So literally, I had to do the engine. I think I did it 3 times until we finally started getting somewhere with this engine. So before I start washing the exterior, I always do the engine. Obviously, this package was a hand wax with a engine bay detail. So first on my list is always the engine. Get it nice and clean, and then I'm gonna work on the outside. As you guys see here, the engine is finally clean, and now we're just dressing it. The engine is on, and then the reason I like to leave it on is that way the dressing starts drying, and we start to remove a lot of the water debris on here. So I will dress it and pretty much just let this dressing do the work. We'll let it sit on there, and I'll show you guys, obviously, once I finish it, the final look on this engine. Now that I have successfully done the engine, now I go down to the exterior, starting from the wheels, obviously, and then we'll work to the paint. I think Toyota wheels are the worst, especially these TRD. The material in them, oh, they're so bad. No matter what you do, they're always gonna look dirty. So obviously I'm going to do super clean, have it 4-to-1, scrubbing all the wheels and the tires. I'm doing this twice to make sure I remove a lot of that grime off these tires, and then do the wheels one more time, and then that'll be a wrap. So what you see here is the iron decon, very minimal purpling. And this was the highlight of the day. I'm here doing the strip wash using the foam cannon, and you're gonna hear a little bit of, well, there you go, I ran out of water. So I think I was literally thinking, like, crap, how am I gonna rinse this car off? So I was like, all right, I just gotta get done with it. Thankfully, the customer had literally like a 2-foot hose. So that's how I kind of rinsed off the driver's side. But I ended up grabbing the clay towel, and I was like, what the heck? Let's go ahead and continue. So right now, this is what I'm doing right now, is claying the vehicle. That way I can rinse it off. And literally, I was just in my head, I'm just like, wow. So no power washer, no problem. I literally grabbed my bucket, filled it up, and did a couple of runs. And as you guys see here, I'm using the bucket to rinse the paint off. And lastly on the list is blowing out all the crevices, the mirrors, everything where the water can sit. This way, when I come back and start waxing it, the water won't be like dripping down. So I tend to always blow the vehicles out off the crevices. Anything that I feel like water sits, I'll blow it off just to make sure and make my job easier as well as I'm waxing. So usually before I start waxing it, or before I start drying the car, I want to go ahead and dress the plastics. And this is what you're seeing me here, is I'm dressing the grill as well as the Toyota emblem, and the wheel well. Just get everything dressed That way I don't have to do this after, if that makes sense. So I want to do it all at once before I start waxing it, and that way after I wax it, I used to dress this at the end, but then you'd have a little bit of overspray. And now what I'm using is the Duplicolor grease and wax remover. This is my paint prep, or as many know it as the IPA. This is gonna pretty much remove any of the residue or anything from the claying. This way I'm gonna have I'm working with bare metal, and what many call a virgin paint. And this way right now when I wax the car, then the product will sit perfectly in the paint, will bond better. So this is very important. I always do paint prep when I'm doing a spray sealant, or I'm doing a wax, or a sealant, or a coating. It is very important for me to get this paint nicely prepped. The most crucial part, I think.
Dang, dude. It's like night and day. That's crazy. You're the man.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Actually, I'll take a picture of it.
I'll take a picture.
Do the
Alrighty guys, we have successfully finished this 4Runner, guys. Overall, from beginning to end, took me about 3.5 hours, I believe. I started at 9:30. It's now 12:30, I believe, 12:45. So I'd say about 3.5 hours for the whole process from beginning to end. Today we obviously did a full interior engine bay detail. We also did an exterior hand wax. I'm gonna bring you guys in real quick on the engine, how it turned out, what I used, and then I'll bring you guys out for the exterior and talk a little bit of the products that I used today as well. And then we're gonna talk about the pricing, and hopefully the pricing doesn't create a chaos. But some people sometimes ask, hey, how much do you charge? Pricing is always different, guys, depending on your area, your skill level, and all of that. And you know, the way you produce your business, at the end of the day, that's what's gonna help you obviously get the most money. But anyways, let me stop talking. Let me bring you guys in really quick to the engine, and we'll go from there. Alrighty guys, hopefully you guys get a nice glimpse of the engine. Overall, the engine took me, I'd say, about a good 45 minutes to get it nice and clean. Quick tip when working with engines, guys, you want to make sure that you turn the vehicle on. That way all the, you know, everything electrical, everything is running perfectly. Many years ago, this is how I was taught to do engines. So I always turn the vehicle on. The guy who was teaching me said, because when the vehicle's on, you know, everything kind of circulates out. As to when the vehicle is off, a lot of the water tends to just sit, and sometimes can create engine failures, or, you know, your check engine light comes on, and sometimes it's just to that. But overall, guys, the engine definitely came out really well. We did obviously the top of this hood. We scrubbed everything really well. For the conditioner today, guys, we used the Drive Auto Appearance Luxe Cockpit Conditioner, I believe it's called, which looks like this, guys. This one, I purchased it yesterday. I've been using it for the interiors as well. And I used it, obviously, I think you guys saw I used it with a detail gun, and literally sprayed it all around, guys. And though it does look glossy, guys, it's really dry to the touch, guys. Very dry to the touch. You know, a little bit, but it's not a lot of, you know, the dressing, which is what I have loved and enjoyed of this product. So I'll be posting a link down below. If you live here in Dallas, Drive Auto Appearance is located here in Plano, off of Plano Parkway, and I think it's Ohio Drive is the next intersection. Real amazing products that readily available. You can literally go in there, grab something that you need, and you are out of there to go get the job done. So I really enjoyed it. I even lifted the top of the lid to make sure you always clean. You want to make sure you you clean everything. So I lifted the lid up, rinsed it all off, brushed it, and put it back, and it's good to go. But it really came out really nice, guys. So I'll give you guys a quick glimpse of that engine, from how it looked, guys, to how it looks now. Came out really well. Alrighty, guys, and to finish this video, for the exterior we use Coach Chemi P301. Obviously we did a full thorough strip wash, we did a iron decontamination, we did a clay bar using nanoskin clay towel, and we rinsed it off. Obviously, I think you guys saw in the video my pressure washer, the water tank, I guess I thought it was full and it wasn't, so I ran out of water, so I had to improvise, and you guys saw me using the bucket to rinse it off. But at the end of the day, the job has to get done one way or the other. So, you know, it's not always pretty being a detailer, right? But we got to improvise very quickly. If not, we're going to start stressing over our job and what we need to do. But, you know, just think really quickly what you have on hand and just get it done. For the tires, today we use the Drive Auto Appearance trim and tire gel. This is the orange one, which I literally use every day now on my tires. And I did it twice, so I let this product sit for about 30 minutes, and then I came back and then I redid it again, and I put 2 coats on the tires, which it needed it just because the tires were really dry. But now this is going around probably about probably a good 30 minutes after I applied the second coat, and it came out amazing. For the inner wheel wells, we use the Drive Auto Appearance, the cockpit, the conditioner, the one I use on the engine bay with the detail gun, and it really came out really nice. Overall, the look of this 4Runner has drastically changed. And the cost, before I forget, the most important part. So lately I've had a lot of people inbox me, hey, can you start talking about pricing? What do you charge? So I'm gonna try my very best to do that on some videos, just because pricing, it varies, you know, it changes a lot of different areas. But for my business, this package here was $400, which was a hand wax is $300, engine bay detail was $100. Gives me a total of $400. As far as today, what I made hourly, I'm probably roughing around $120 an hour. I think started at 9:30, finished at around 12:30. I think now it's 12:45. So about 3 hours and a half for the whole process. And you know, some people will say, golly, how'd you do that so quick? It's just process and procedures, guys. You know, you'll get there eventually with timing. You know, if you just started, yeah, this may take you a little bit, but once you start getting your groove, you start knowing what you're doing, repetition, trust me, your timing will start coming down, and that's where you're gonna be making, I always say the good money. But no matter what you do, whether you charge $100, you know, some people will say, well, dude, they can literally go to a car wash and do it for $50. Yes, you sure can. But at a car wash, they're not gonna do no strip wash. At the car wash, they don't do no decontaminations. They don't clay it. They don't prep the paint to put the sealant, if that makes sense, or the wax. As to for me, I want to make sure that your paint is fully prepped, removed any elements that the paint has. That way, when we do wax it or we put a sealant or a like a spray a spray coating, the product will bond correctly to the metals, to the plastics. That's why I charge a lot. I remember when I started my business, I was charging $50, but the process now that I do to this, it's not what I did 5 years ago. When I started, I was literally just washing and waxing the cars until somebody had it like, no, that's not how you do it. And I started really paying attention to how the correct way to properly get the paint ready. And I was missing a lot of stuff, right? But now, you know, that's my cost. To some, that may be a lot. To some, it may be too little. You know, every detailer is different. I feel very content, very happy with $400 on this project, and the way it came out, I mean, I really can't complain. So I hope you guys have a great Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching today's video. As always, God bless y'all, and we'll see you guys on the next video.